When I finish my park run, I don't know if you're the same, but I just start thinking about lunch. So why don't you join me for some great post-park run refuel ideas for you and the entire family. Hello there, I'm Jenni Falconer. Welcome to Cook Along with Co-op. Now, as you can see, I have loads of amazing ingredients here because sometimes when you get back from a run, especially if it's been a Saturday morning, you've been on your park run, you want to come back, you want to cook something warm, something that's going to heat you up, especially as the days are getting colder and it's pretty chilly out there right now. So look, we've got loads of amazing ingredients here. I'm not going to talk you through them just yet because first, we obviously have to introduce our top chef because you're not just cooking along with me. No, thankfully, we have an expert here to guide us properly. We have our top co-op chef, Stewart.
Hi.
You've got some really amazing ingredients here. There's salmon, you know, there's egg. I mean, it looks like it's going to be good. Talk me through the ingredients we have.
So we've got some salmon here. All of our salmon here it's sustainable and it's MSC certified, along with all our other seafood. We've got some tomatoes and some spinach. It's just some really simple pairings along with some toasted almonds. The reason we toast them is it just brings out that flavour and really sort of develops it much more. And we've got an egg as well that we're going to poach along with, so we'll have a bit of fun doing that.
You might want to hit pause, nip to the shops for anything you're missing and then come back and then press play. We'll be right here. And if you have just press play again, hello, welcome back, we're still here. Stewart, what do we start with? Which one do we deal with first?
So first we're actually going to cook the salmon and then we're going to set it to the side while we quickly sort of warm up some of the other things. Frying pan on, get it on nice and high so that we can crisp it up and get it cooked really nicely. We're then going to take some of our olive oil and just put a small amount in, roughly a teaspoon, doesn't matter too much, just enough to cook the salmon in without it sticking. We'll have to wait for the oil to heat up and you'll be able to tell because you'll see a sort of slight ripple on top as it gets thinner, as the heat gets through it.
This whole meal here, it's another speedy meal, isn't it? How long will it take to do all this all together?
It'll probably take about 10 minutes if you've got everything prepared beforehand.
There's nothing worse for me than when you get back in and then you cook a long meal, you're just starving, you end up picking everything as you're cooking. So 10 minutes, that's fine.
Now my pan's nice and hot, I can see a tiny little bit of smoke coming off the pan and that's fine, that's not a problem. But we're just gonna season the fish very lightly with a little pinch of salt.
Any pepper or just salt?
Just salt, I just go salt. I think pepper can end up sort of sticking in and burning slightly. So we're going to pop the fish in now and gently place it away from us in the pan, skin side down, and you should hear a nice sizzle from the pan.
Yep.
And then we're just going to leave that on a high heat until the skin's really nice and crispy.
So what else have we got? We've also got we've got our eggs here, tomatoes, and spinach as well. Are these all going to be going in the pan or are they going to be going somewhere else?
We're going to put our tomatoes in the pan after the salmon's cooked, and that's going to soften them down slightly, warm them through and release some of the moisture from them. And there'll be a little bit of charring on them. And then once that moisture is released, we'll throw our spinach in there and just wilt it down very gently. And then we're just going to throw a little sprinkling of nuts in at the end to fold through, just for some extra flavour and a bit of texture in there. So if you have a little look, I'll turn mine, but you don't necessarily need to. It's not that dark and it's not that coloured up yet. So we're just going to keep that going till it's really crispy and really golden. Because otherwise what happens if you turn it onto the flesh side, you start to dry out the fish.
If you are cooking along with us, I hope it's looking like this and that it smells as good as this one smells.
So that's nice and dark most of the way across it now. So we're just going to flip it onto its side. So it's only moving onto that side. I don't know if you can see there. So once you've got a little colour on each side, it will be about ready. So you just want to keep your eye on it. So you see mine there has gotten quite a good bit of colour on fairly quickly. So I've just turned it over again.
This one's definitely crispy on the top there. It looks so good though, right? And how long? Mine looks like it's definitely close to ready.
If it looks cooked on all sides, I'm going to flip mine onto my last side now. I'm going to give it another 2 minutes because mine isn't ready yet.
Okay, I think I'm going to put my heat down a bit because I think mine is ready now.
It should feel like it's going to flake apart. It shouldn't sort of feel soft and spongy.
That's definitely, I think that's good. That feels ready.
Well, mine's now golden on every side, and you can see that there. It's just crisped up on the other side as well. So I'm going to take that out and pop it to one side.
Where have you put it? Okay, on the plate. Here we go.
Okay, so next we're going to turn the heat down a little because there's lots of water in the tomatoes that we're about to cook, and we don't want that to go mad spitting. So we're just going to turn it down to a medium heat, put our tomatoes in, just carefully sort of tipping them away from you. Now, this is the part where it gets a little bit more interesting. As long as they're not burning and they look fine in the pan, we're going to take our whisk to our pan of water with our egg. So we're just going to stir the water around till you've got a nice sort of spiral effect going on in there, a little whirlpool. And make sure it's really spinning. I'm going to stop and gently pour our egg in. And what this does is it just keeps it moving and stops it falling to the bottom. And it makes it form a much better shape so that it cooks nice and evenly.
Is that the secret to a decent poached egg?
That's my secret. You can put a little bit of vinegar in and a little bit of salt in the water, and that just helps to stop the egg from sort of having these little strands that come off it.
Are you leaving it slightly runny still in the middle?
Definitely. I always err on the side of runnier than firmer. So once that's in, we're gonna pour our spinach with the tomatoes and just let them wilt down. We're not gonna put the lid on, but we're just gonna give the pan a little stir.
Okay, and we just mix this around?
Yeah, just mixing it around a little just to make sure that they're sort of wilting down nice and evenly. Now at this point, I'm gonna grind a little bit of cracked black pepper in, and this is just to sort of add a bit of extra flavour to the tomatoes. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little look at our egg. So we're gonna use a slotted spoon and really gently just pop the spoon under and lift it up and see if it's cooked. Now,
I'm scared of this bit.
You can see it looks a little darker yellow on the outside, but that'll still feel soft and it'll be runny on the inside. And as long as it comes out of the pan, it should really be cooked. Got some toast already done here. So what we're going to do now is just spoon this out onto the toast, and we'll sprinkle our almonds over the top afterwards. Now on this salmon, it should have cooled down enough for you to handle. So what we're going to do is we're going to pinch one corner of the skin and just peel it back, and it should, because it's nice and crispy, come off. I was going to say in one piece, but mine's just broken there. So
mine has just
we're just going to pinch the corner again at the other side, really gently sort of pull that off. It's being awkward, this one. Once the skin's off, you should be able to just flake it up gently, and it should just pull apart in sort of natural seams really nice and easily. You'll see in the middle there, it's really moist and really nice, and we're just going to sort of flake that over the top.
Wow, this is so good. Okay, I can't believe I've done this. Like, seriously.
Now I'm just going to make a little flat perch on top. I'm going to pop my egg on. I'm going to sprinkle over some of our toasted almonds.
Stay.
I'm a big fan of balsamic vinegar on these sorts of things, so I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of vinegar over the top. But if you're not, then you can leave it as it is.
I'm so scared this egg bursts. Ta-da! Right, hang on. What did you do? How many almonds did you put over it?
I sprinkled a few, so a good pinch is the technical measurement. It's probably about 5-10 grams, not much more than that.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. It looks like we've made something that you'd get in a restaurant. I hope you enjoy it. Bon appetit. And please feel free to share your pictures as well.
Going down a similar lines, I think we do have a vegan option that we've sort of made up and prepared that I believe you have there, and we've got a roast beetroot, orange and avocado open toasted sandwich there.
Look, that looks so good as well. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
this is perfect. Okay, it didn't take that long. If you have just come back in from a run, it really only took about 10 minutes or so to make that, and now you have a perfectly delicious post-park run meal all ready for you. Enjoy.